What's up, Rich and Niche fam? Today I've got a little interview with a student of mine who quit Tesla to become a digital marketer and a consultant. This is a story you're gonna wanna hear. Dean, it's great to have you here today all the way from Australia. Rich and Niche member for a good amount of time. How are you, Dean?
I am doing great, Rich. How are you, mate?
Excellent, and I can hear you beautifully. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can. Clear as day.
Tremendous. I'm excited. I'm glad to have you here. I don't do this often, but I like to bring up people who are finding success in the digital marketing world, especially as they're finding that rhythm, that momentum, because that is the hardest part for many people. So I'd love to just hear a little bit about your backstory. Tell us a bit about where you were right before you kind of found my educational content, and we'll kind of go Q&A from there.
Hi everyone. I'm Dean. A few familiar faces. Great to be here. Before I ever met Rich or got involved in anything, I was an engineer. I was an engineer in Australia for a little while, and then I got a job overseas in California. I was working as an engineer for Tesla. And that was a pretty insane opportunity. I got to do some pretty crazy things.
Don't
I
open the
even met
doorbell.
Elon once, which was pretty crazy. But it just wasn't exactly what I wanted. And a few people in this group can probably attest to having a boss that wasn't really somebody they enjoyed working with. And I realized that engineering wasn't quite my thing. And I was a little bit confused. I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do and what my next step was. And I had a few ideas. And, I really enjoyed sort of helping out friends and helping sort of market themselves. And I didn't really understand what digital marketing was. And then I came across Rich+Niche, and I sort of started to put a few things together. And once I realized that what I was already kind of doing with friends and sort of family businesses was already digital marketing, I just really leaned into that and then bought Rich's courses. And just started really leaning into it. And here I am today with a whole new kind of life going on, which has been a really cool ride, mate.
Could you have imagined sitting in front of, 40 people just talking about digital marketing success like a year ago? Could you foresee that you were being on this path, or has it kind of shook you and put you in like a new dimension?
Oh, it's definitely shook me. I remember coming to these collective calls and listening to people and their success, and me thinking, wow, they've done it first of all so quickly, and sort of achieved so much. And then it just kind of happened. Like I was just kind of doing my bits and pieces, doing a bit of freelance work here, and then all of a sudden I sort of got a gig with a friend's business. I got something else going on, and it all sort of just started to fall into place. And then, it would have been around, I'd say a month, maybe a month and a half ago, that it just kind of clicked, and I realized, well, I am really starting to become successful in what I wanted to do, and it's an amazing feeling.
When you think about that feeling, is it the money and how you're making money, or is it sort of the freedom and control you have over your life compared to where you were at before? Which matters more to you?
For me, it's definitely the freedom and control aspect. It was being locked down and having to do ridiculous hours, and not really being able to do anything, and having really limited time off to travel and do things was not for me. And even now, like, yeah, sure, I'm earning a little bit of money in what I'm doing, but it's definitely not the most important thing for me. Definitely not.
Yeah, and then that's what's important about the Rich and Niche community and the values we share is that it's like a freedom first mentality. It's about liberation. It's about finding your ikigai, finding your way in this world. Money is a tool, money is important, but we're using that tool to often get a vacation or buy ourselves something to make ourselves feel good. When we have control, we often don't need to spend a lot. We often don't need to go out every weekend and sort of expel that contained energy. So it's very important people understand that are here, that you don't have to make tens of thousands. You don't even have to make six figures to be extremely happy and free. So thanks for sharing a little bit about that, Dean. Let's talk about the success in a more tangible way. I know when you wrote the case study for me, you talked a little bit about some client work and you definitely talked about multiple income streams. So could you just kind of break that down for kind of what happened and what you've experienced in that realm?
Well, when I started, I was more on the path of trying to market other people. Like I did full stack. I understood how funnels work. I learned how to do websites and all that sort of stuff. And I was just sort of cold calling, just reaching out, spending a lot of time in my network and just trying to get clients and things like that. And I figured out along the way that that wasn't quite exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to sort of market my own things or work with people that are really close to me, not just looking out for anybody who would work with me. So after figuring that out and after sort of working with a family business, they realized that they had this little niche, which is forward driving and that sort of stuff in Australia, which has become really big. But they had no idea what to do with their online stuff. And I said, guys, why don't you just let me sort it out and we can go from there. And so I just started taking photos. I started posting. I got their website going, and now they just took me on last week. They're like, "Well, just you can be the director of marketing for us. That's going to be your role. You're already doing it. We might as well just keep you on doing that." So that's kind of one stream of income there, and sort of a sidestep of that is because I really am into cars. I mean, obviously, I worked at Tesla and stuff like that. I started leading into freelance photography. So that's kind of what I've been doing with other random people now that have seen what I've been posting, and they've been reaching out to me. Hey, can you take photos of my car? Hey, I'm wanting to sell my car. Can you help me with the copy on my sales ad? So that's sort of the second stream of income that I have now. And the third one, which I've kind of found surprising, which didn't come out of anywhere that I expected, was Porsche Cars Australia is not as big as the global aspect, and even smaller than that is the sort of service area where you bring your car in to get serviced. They're not talking about selling cars, but they had no social media or anything. And one of my buddies was working there, and he's like, "Dude, we don't do anything." So I walked up to the manager. And I said, "Hey, here's some photos I've taken. What do you think? Can I just take some photos of cars?" And they're like, "Sure, you've got the gig." So all I've really done is just sort of just give people free stuff, just show them my stuff. And I've just kept doing that over and over and over again. And I've just set up these little multiple streams of income in my house. And I can do almost all of it from my house, except when I go out to take photos, which is almost always an adventure. I'm going out forward driving. I'm going out driving cars, and I love cars. So it's the thing for me. Couldn't be happier.
Can we just back it up? Did you say you worked at Tesla?
I did work at Tesla.
What was your role there?
I was a production engineer.
Wow. So even working at probably, in my opinion, the most interesting company in the world as it stands today, the most forward-thinking company in the world, you actually prefer as it stands now, where you're taking photos, you're working with smaller businesses. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's just more intimate working with people like that. I really enjoy that relationship. Whereas when I was at Tesla, I was just another cog in this big machine. Like it was just, and the thing was as well, like if, particularly at that time when I was there, if anybody wants to Google Tesla production hell, that was my team that was in there that kind of made us get through that. If you made one little mistake, it was like, see you later. And then if I was gone, they'd send me back to deport me out of the US back to Australia. And that was it. So it was kind of just always in the back of my mind kind of thing, like what's going to happen tomorrow? I didn't have control.
What about your YouTube channel? Give us a little bit on how that's going and what you've kind of picked up there.
Well, yeah. So I did start a YouTube channel a little while ago. And I haven't posted all that much lately. I started off with just like, hello, this is Dean. I'm in front of a camera to practice being in front of a camera. And I started talking about how to sort of self-growth, personal productivity and all that sort of stuff. But I realized that it didn't sort of fit with what I was doing. So now my plan and going along with what I'm doing now is to really sort of lean into how I take photos, talking to people about how to use a camera, how to video record, what Lightroom's all about, presets and all that sort of stuff. And I'm hoping I can work that into my funnel. And then eventually, when I've got a little bit of a crowd following me, potentially sell some presets and do a bit of affiliate marketing with some pieces of software too.
Speaking of affiliate marketing, you sold at least one of my courses. I know that. Can you just talk about what you wrote to me in that email that day?
Oh man, it was it was quite a different feeling. I woke up, it was maybe a month ago. I woke up and I got an email and it said, "You have been paid." And it just said from Rich. And I'd never in my life been paid for not doing anything. And it was totally passive. I got a little affiliate ticket from Rich, and I emailed Rich and I said, "I can't believe I got paid in my sleep. What an awesome feeling this is. I can't wait for this to be my future." And it was just, and you replied, you were like, "Isn't it just a great feeling?"
Yeah, man, it gives me a great feeling right now that we can sort of pass this on, and that through our network and through the work we do, we can just keep sharing to others. And it's a value driven thing, it's not overly salesy, and it feels so good, that sleep income. So I'm really proud of you for doing that. And I appreciate you for letting people know the value you've got from my course. And let's just end it on that. Which of my courses was the most impactful? And just talk about sort of what major insight or epiphany you gained from it.
I think it was full stack. Full stack was kind of like the big high level view, as well as all the details that you need to know to operate and use a funnel. And for me personally, I like knowing the details, but I also always need that high level overview to sort of understand how everything interrelates. And yeah, I mean, I've taken a bunch of your other courses too, and they've been fantastic, but full stack still stands out as one of the best courses for me to really understand how this whole digital marketing landscape works.
It is such a powerful foundational thing. I think the name can turn people off, scare people, but what it ultimately is a foundational course for people to understand what the hell is going on and how does the internet money flow. So I'm glad that you picked that one, and it seems to be the pattern. Thank you so much, Dean, for joining me on this pre-show before the webinar. Really appreciate you taking the time. I know it's early over there, and it just means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And may the algorithms be ever